When the sun sets in the city of San Diego, the cheaters come out to play. A flirtatious wife caught on tape getting a little too close to another guy at a club. A cheating husband exiting with a grin from a hotel room, followed minutes later by a young woman, most likely a prostitute.
As a private investigator, I don't carry a gun. This right here is our weapon of choice.
Patrick Schneemann is one of the country's busiest private investigators. Tonight, he's on the tail of a cheating wife.
It's 25 past 8 in the evening, Thursday night. What are we doing?
Tonight, we kind of have some inside information that there's a good chance that our subject will be going to a restaurant and perhaps a club later on with the boyfriend.
90% of Schneemann's business involves cheating spouses using the latest technology, like a motion-controlled camera to catch a co-worker walking out of a cheating husband's hotel room at 2:42 in the morning, or tiny camcorders to catch an adulterous husband lips locked with his lover about to be confronted by his wife.
What are you looking to get for your clients?
A photograph or video which depicts their spouse, the cheater, in some outward display of affection. But that's our goal with respect to the investigation. The greater goal is to help our clients possibly save their marriage.
Save their marriage?
Yeah.
I thought you're there to break the marriage.
Sometimes, Martin, the first step in saving the marriage is to get that irrefutable, undeniable evidence that the spouse can't wiggle out of or explain away. It forces them to come to grips with what they've done.
Estimates suggest the majority of Americans are now committing adultery. Anywhere between 40 and 65% of men and 20 to 50% of women have been unfaithful.
20, 30 years ago, someone had to really seek out infidelity. Now, if they're online, it seeks them out.
The internet has become a playground for the unfaithful, with the most brazen flocking to ashleymadison.com.
Most of us can recover from a one-night stand with the wrong woman.
A website that caters specifically for adultery.
But not when it's every night for the rest of our lives.
And boasts almost 4 million users. Their tagline, "Life is short, have an affair." They even offer an affair guarantee for $249. The brains behind the website is Noel Biderman, a happily married father of 2.
Do you think that adultery is a good thing or a bad thing? Yes or no? Do you believe adultery
I think it depends
is a
on the
good thing?
circumstances, Martin. Honestly, I think there are some cases it's probably very destructive.
So you don't know?
And in some places it's very constructive, of course, because nothing is that definitive.
So, talking about your wife, would adultery be a good thing for her to commit?
No, I think I'm a great partner.
Do you see the hypocrisy?
No, I don't.
You don't? So you say, for other people who are using your website and spending their $240 on a fair guarantee, it may be very good for them and not harmful, but for your wife, it would be very harmful for her.
Well, because I'm very knowledgeable in my own relationship, and so what I would say is that I think I'm very attentive to my wife's needs.
You give them the affair, and then you take their
Correct.
$240, and everything's good.
And I've helped them as much as I can help them.
You've helped destroy their family.
No, I don't think. I think if anything, I've helped them preserve their family.
This woman, whom we'll call Danielle, learned that her husband was having an affair. So she decided to use the website to meet a married man herself.
You never thought for a moment that here's this guy who's got a family and a wife of his own and he's cheating on them?
No.
Even though you'd been so hurt by what had happened to you?
Right. I know it's bad.
What do you mean it's bad?
That I didn't.
You just didn't care?
It's not that I didn't care. I just turned it off. Flipped the switch.
That was until he flew her out to Italy, where she unexpectedly met his wife and children, who were there on a family vacation. They thought she was a co-worker.
When I met her, I wasn't able to flip the switch off anymore.
You mean you put a face to the cheating?
Right. And all of it.
You put a face to the deceit?
Right.
And the betrayal?
Mm-hmm.
And you felt uncomfortable?
Oh, absolutely.
She stopped using the site. Back in San Diego, it's 9 p.m. and the trail is heating up.
We placed a GPS unit on the vehicle earlier this week, and the 3 days that we've had the unit on the car tracked her to the boyfriend's house on 3 separate occasions. By the time we got out to the location, her car had just left. In fact, it left like minutes before we got there last night.
So you got to miss the money shot.
Yeah, we missed an opportunity there. It must have been a quickie.
We're arriving at ground zero for tonight's cheating spouse.
We've pulled into a very, very attractive area. Lots of restaurants. Are we getting nearby?
We're pretty near where we've tracked her to. It's expensive, it's romantic.
Good place to hide an affair.
Yeah.
Patrick Schneemann has arrived at the restaurant where a client's wife is believed to be cheating. And he's planning to use one of his newest and most discreet cameras hidden in a fountain pen.
These pen cams allow us to film inside the restaurant to get some type of photographic evidence that the subject was there, was with somebody. So we'll go in and I can use this, no problem.
High-tech gadgetry has already delivered the goods on many occasions. Colleen sought Patrick's help after hearing rumours of her husband's infidelity. Together they followed him to his hotel and accessed his room.
Where did you put the camera?
Well, we put the camera up in the valance above the window, and it was hidden really good, really well.
And the next day came back to retrieve the memory card.
What did you learn from the photographic evidence about her husband?
Well, we learned that he has issues.
We saw he was in bed with another woman, and then the next night he was in bed with a different woman.
She said that on 3 consecutive nights there were 3 different women.
Right.
He was having sex with these
Oh,
women?
yes, absolutely.
Each of them having sex with him?
Yeah.
He was having sex and everything.
We actually also saw the exchange of money, by the way. That money was actually exchanged with one of the women that came in. We actually got that on film. So he's obviously participating in a crime as well as cheating on his wife.
I think some were prostitutes, some were employees that he had hired part-time.
When that happened, you must have thought the marriage is over.
It was over.
Did you ever confront him again with pictures?
No, I just told him about it.
And what did he say?
At that point, you know, he knew. He couldn't deny it.
Case closed. Meanwhile, back at the restaurant, Patrick and a colleague have secured a table directly across from their subject. And, bingo, she's out with the boyfriend. Patrick then walks past to make a positive ID. Then, in what seems like a natural gesture, he presses the pen against his cheek to record video.
People usually don't engage in, displays of affection out in the open so that we can obtain it. But we did get them together, and we did document that our vehicle was going to his house, and we did provide our client with the answers to the questions that were plaguing him.
He'll share the images with his client in the morning. Meanwhile, he has 15 other live cases that he's following.
The majority of our clients engage our services because they want to know. They have to know. They're haunted by it. It haunts them. And I tell them, I've been married for 19 years. If I was worried about what my client is worried about, it would consume me. It's all I would think about.
As the lights of San Diego shimmer past midnight, there's little doubt that this city has had its full complement of cheaters. But the darkness will not hide them from Patrick and his team of investigators.
To me, there's nothing more important in that relationship between a husband and a wife. That's a sacred vow to me. To me, it's sacred. And I don't have a lot of respect for someone who would violate that vow.